Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's race. I am your commentator for tonight, not joined by another commentator. So, first night solo. Looking forward to this race. Gonna be an interesting one. I think Div1 made for quite the show on Monday night, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Div2 has to offer. They're currently, it looks like, in overtime for their current practice session. So I'm gonna hop on over there and see if I can get everything set up and ready for the race, for the qualifying session to start. All right. Let's just get everything back. So already seeing some nice and fast times. Some really good times. Clearly, guys working with their way up to Div1, it seems. Noticing some lag on the stream. If people can just let me know in chat if there's a problem, or if it's something that's happening consistently, much appreciated. I might have to quickly restart something my side. All right. So while everything is busy, I'm gonna quickly just hop on over into our, what's it called? Our track map. I unfortunately didn't grab the weather, but it was a scorcher. We're on the Bahrain International GP circuit here, so really challenging layout through the S's there in turn 5, 6, and 7. You can throw away a bit of time over there. Then also into the hairpin turn 10 and turn 9, trying to hit that apex under braking in an off-camber corner can be quite challenging. And lastly, I think turn 11 and 12 was a bit more challenging than we maybe expected. Okay, I'm seeing Rian saying something is a bit laggy. I'll give it a quick once over in a bit. Hopefully once qualifying starts, I'll be able to pinpoint what exactly is going on. But yeah, anyway, so we're on Bahrain. I think track temperature is around 36 degrees with air temperature around 35. It's an absolute scorcher. We're late in the evening, around 6 p.m. So sun starts to set and it gets going. Right, I see everybody is going now. So I'll switch back to my main stream there. Currently sitting on board with myself. I'll try and find whoever is piling out of the pits first there. So Bradley Taylor piling out there. Looking forward to seeing what he can bring tonight. And it's a nice long train there. It can get quite busy. On Monday I saw it can be a bit busy, but the track is kind of long enough to accommodate everybody. It's not so tough that, well, it's not like everybody is squashed up next to one another, having to run everything. Okay, seeing Daniel saying there, looks fine. Just quickly gonna say hello to everybody. So Sharon Skuman, Maria Skuman, Valdine, all the Skumans turning up tonight. Then Rian Oberholzer is there as well, Philip Menard, Daniel Haynes and Dirk Brandt, and as well as Joshua van Rensburg. So really looking forward to having everybody here. Cool. It's looking less choppy now. I'll keep an eye on it. Heining racing there as well. He's heard this mole guy can win with the default setup. Too bad he has Jovan to worry about. So gonna be interesting. Saw a bit of banter back and forth on Discord to the last few days about this battle coming. Okay, I'm still on board with Bradley Taylor. So I'm just waiting for everybody to start making their moves. Brendan Veet is also there. Looking up and down the field. A lot of medium tires right now. 1 or 2 hards. So everybody out on mediums except Brendan Veet, Pieter Wenzel, Jivan. Now he jumped. Jivan Tarika. No, he's out on mediums as well. So people are feeling comfortable with the mediums. I remember they were running a little bit hot for my side. and hopefully, and I ended up I ended up opting for the hard tires instead. Okay, so Jovan is on his first lap there. Everything is going nicely now. I'm just gonna need to. I do see my game is stuttering slightly, so I might quickly quit out and drop some settings when the race start happens. Cool. I will be keeping my eye on Jovan and Mr. Mole tonight. If this is the battle to watch, I'm very keen to see what's going to happen. Already, so Jovan posting a 155.3. I'm assuming that's still out laps. Delta is showing he's about 8 seconds up, so he's definitely coming through to put down a very decent decent first lap here. Daniel Haynes joking there with me on a forced GPU upgrade. That's probably going to be the case. Okay, first time's coming in. Mr. Mole is on a 146.1. Ronald Childs on a 148.2. So I'm assuming Jovan maybe had a bit of an issue with his first lap there. Maybe he dipped some wheels outside, invalidated it, and has to get going again. Lots of drivers coming to finish their laps now. Every time I switch to someone, it's as if they're coming, it's the last few, no one's stripping through. Curious to see if people are doing one lap out, hot lap, jump back to pits and retry. It's not quite looking like it. Maybe they've added enough fuel there. So Dominique, he is still running. Right up on his bubble there. Okay, he does invalidate his lap and he has to go out. So I'll go hunting for someone else, possibly on a fast lap. Jovan Oosthuizen, he's 2/10 up on his delta now. He crosses the line. That's a 155.3, so not quite what one would expect of him. Just hopping back to Jan Carines. I know he's previously been a Div1 contender, so curious to see what he can put together tonight. Currently, loses it in this last sector. Not sure if he was maybe unsighted by whoever was in front of him there. But it's looking like the slipstream helps him a bit, and he does a 48.8 there, which is a very respectable time, I think. Okay. Seeing Jevan Tarika, he's about 4 seconds behind pole there. He must have just started his outlap, so his delta is locked quite far. I'll go and hunt for more laps. Ronald Childs, also someone I know to be relatively quick, so gonna keep an eye on him. He is right up on his bubble there. If he can get a good exit onto this back straight, that might net him a bit of extra time as well, and it does seem like he's had a bad exit on his previous lap, so he might be able to squeeze out another 10th, given that he can take this last corner and ensure that he gets a good exit out there as well. Does throw away half a 10th there. slowly creeping down. He might only just improve. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough though. He does improve, but it's not quite enough. So he's still sitting in 4th, which is, I think, a very, very comfortable position for him to be in. Okay, I think I'm switching to Craig, starting his hot lap now. So I'm gonna stick with him, see what he can put together. Sure, he'll be able to get something decent up and running for us. I would have played Nick's... No, it wasn't Nick's video, it was Philip's video this time around, but I'd recommend if you're not sure what a good hot lap looks like, you can go and watch the Monday night, the Div1 stream. Philip did a really, really good job there showing us what a quick lap looks like. Ooh, Craig running slightly wide there, almost misses his apex, and that's cost him half a second there already. He's going to have to consider abandoning his lap now. Not quite sure who that is right behind him. Ooh, they're running a bit close. I'm gonna switch away before someone blames commentator's curse on this. Right, switch to Stanley Fenter. He is half a second up on his delta. So he's still looking at the sharp end of this field. I think there is likely still a second on the table for Stanley. I'm not quite sure where his performance has been. Well, no, he actually missed the first race. All right. So looking forward to seeing what Stanley can pull out. Oh, just going back to YouTube there, I see Nick Hodgson is there. Adele van Rensburg as well. Ooh, as I say that, Stanley spins it into the hairpin there at turn 10. That is not where you want to be, Stanley. Okay. Martin Mole, I think, is currently on an out lap. Gonna go look for Bradley Taylor quickly. He is also currently on his out lap. He just started. Who haven't I looked at yet? That's Jotan van Aswegen. He just gets rolling. Sean Viveje. He is a 10th down on his, well, almost 2/10 down on his delta right now. Still 5 minutes left, so good in a good chunk of time to try and go do some more laps there. Does not quite get a good exit there, so he might have to try and save it for a next lap. Switching to Jovan, he's not quite there. He's struggling a bit to gain on his delta there right now, but he is well up there. Him and Martin both running low 46s, which is very, very respectable Div1 times, I believe. Let's go and have a quick look. So, I wanted to say that that's actually not Jude Stewart. That is John Stewart, his father. I think in terms of pace, young Jude is maybe a bit busier. Jude was supposed to race in Div 1 on Monday night, if I remember correctly, and unfortunately they had some power issues, if I believe, and he couldn't make it for that race. Was quite excited to see what he can pull off. Okay, do see John Stewart improves with a 151.0. Ooh, and up front, Ronald Child jumps into third there with a 147.8. A lot of movement up and down. Quickly going to switch to young Aiden Skuman. Can't remember what the relation is there with you, Marius, but sounds like he's one of the youngsters. He's up and coming, and we should be on the lookout for him, as with young Jude Stewart as well. Three minutes left on the clock. Just about enough time to go do an out lap and a quick hot lap, so might still see some guys pulling out of the pits. Only Brendan Veet there in the pits still. I think he's comfortable with the time that he's done. Ooh, Aiden throws away some time there. He's 1/10 up on his down on his delta now. Ooh, no, that hairpin was not his friend. Okay, gonna go try and look for someone else. Ooh, Dominique is a good 10th up on his delta, although he is following someone quite closely there, and it might unsight him if he catches up to them coming into this last corner. Although looking at it, I think that's a flying gypsy's car, so I know the gypsies overall are relatively quick, so should not be too much of a problem. And if he can get under that wing, not quite. I don't think that's enough, close enough to utilize the slipstream for this last main straight. But he did lose a bit of time in that last corner. Does not improve yet. Ronald Childs does improve as well, so he's slowly etching his way closer and closer to the front two there. Just looking up and down for someone maybe up on their delta. Ooh, it's not good if you're starting your lap with 3/10 down. Ooh, I see Maul breaking through that 46 barrier. That is very, very close to what the pole position time was, I think, for Div1 on Monday night. Okay, big lock up there from Henrik going into turn 1, but he does keep a... Oh no, I was talking too fast. Should probably turn on Discord. Oh, turn Discord off for now. Okay, jumps back to pits. So we are in overtime. So Martin, or I vaguely remember someone saying it's actually pronounced Martijn. I think it's a Dutch variant of Martin. Martijn Mol doing very well with the 145.9 there. Jovan Oosthuizen just behind him with the 146.1. Ronald Childs with a 147.6, so a bit of a gap between between P2 and P3. Bradley Taylor on a 147.8, and yeah, the field nicely tightens up again there. Bradley, so then Brendan Veed, Dominique, Jotan van Aswegen, Pieter van Rensburg, and Craig Hunter. That is about it. I'm gonna quickly go for an ad break and try to sort out the stuttering on my side. So see everybody soon. Okay, I'm back. Looking like I'm getting some extra frames now, so hopefully that will hold up for the race and we won't have too much trouble. I've had to drop some of the quality slightly. Hopefully it doesn't look too awful for those watching tonight. Quickly gonna just catch up with the chat there, seeing Paradox. Ooh, that name rings a bell. His game crashed and he can't join again. That's unfortunately. Hopefully you can get back and at least start the race. I'm not sure what to do there. Dirk Brand saying, oh, he'll clearly have to start packing his thing and book a ticket for Div2. Dirk, I think I might be with you in that. I'm a bit worried about what's going to come. We'll see how these new drivers come and handle us in Div1, I'm assuming. Werner Nell there, hello, and then is that, you just call him Martin. Okay, cool. Thank you for the clarification. All right, so I'm just going to switch to Ronald Charles, try and find a nice camera angle. I know Alan said things weren't that great on Monday. Some of the camera angles are a little bit odd. They're all so far away. So if I remember correctly, it was Martin Mol on P1 there, pole, with Jovan Oosthuizen on his right. Followed by Ronald Childs, Bradley Taylor, and Brendan Veed. I'll double check. We're almost at the point. Lights are starting to show. This is where the excitement starts, everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lights. And away they go. Ooh, it's almost as if the sun also rises there. Cool. So everybody looking like they're oh no, big trouble in the background. I think someone maybe opened up their DRS wing and it caught them out. Hopefully everybody can gets going. Ooh, big concertina effect into turn 1, but everybody does look like they get through there cleanly. Do see people in the background also now making their way into turn 1, so hopefully everybody gets going. Right. Jovan Oosthuizen managing a very, very good overtake there on the main straight. I think I might have missed it in all of the excitement of what was happening in the background there. But I'm sure Martin is going to be on his tail. Quickly looking up and down the field for tires. We've got mediums all round, except for Craig Hunter on hards, Stanley Fenter on hards, John Stewart on hards, and Ryan de Azevedo on hards. The rest are all quite brave tonight. These mediums overheat quickly, so I'm hoping that they've got their braking zones locked in. They're not locking up and sliding unnecessarily and can manage the tire temperatures accordingly. Okay, so I'm just jumping back to Rob van der Heever quickly. He is half a tenth on the back of Bradley Taylor, which should get him close enough to get into that slipstream. I don't think he'll be able to make the overtake just yet on that last corner. Cars are still a bit heavy, but if he can stay close, he can utilize a good exit onto this main straight, which might open up an opportunity for him into turn 1. I think he's just too far off. His DRS isn't going to help him in this case. Everybody has access to DRS. In the background there, see Sean Viveje and Tarika having a bit of a fall dropping down the field, so hopefully they can get going. Peter Wenzel also maybe be a little bit caught up there. Okay. For the time being, I'm sticking with Rob van der Heever. But I am keeping my eye there on Matthew, on Martin Mol. I don't know why I was jumping to Matthew just yet. Ooh, no. That is Martin Mol. He has had a moment through the S's, and he's dropping down a bit like a stone. Hopefully he can. Ooh, yeah, that's tires that had been cooked. Just getting too hard on the throttle too quickly, and it's a difficult position to be in here with all of the cars coming. He's going to have to be careful and pick his gap so that someone doesn't run into him. He's very likely this will be the moment. Oh, that is unfortunate. I'm gonna rather move away. Just jump to Jovan in the in the front there. Try and find a nice TV camera for us to look at. So he's out in the lead. He doesn't have to worry about Martin fighting with him just yet. Although it might help. Dirk, thank you for letting me know about the car volume. I'll bump that up a bit. I think that should be respectable. I do believe Martin will be fighting back hard. He might have an op strategy that he can pull out to try and close down the gap and work his way back up the field. Did I hire a sniper with the walkie-talkie? I refuse to comment. I'll just keep quiet. All right, John Stewart on the back of Ryan Hill. Ryan running their I think it's like warplane inspired livery. I think it's one of the really nice ones. It's a bit white on the track. It doesn't quite show the details. Ooh, John, you're gonna give me a heart attack there, man. That he almost ran into the back of Ryan there. Gets very lucky, does the correct thing, pulls just turns away from Ryan at the very last moment there, making sure that he doesn't make contact. But he's now side by side with Johan Carines going into turn 3 or 4 there. Slight touch. Oh, and I think Johan might have this position. Yes, he pulls out in front, going leading into the S's there. Oh, okay. I'll try and keep locking up. I'll try and go find some more battles. Right, Jotan van Aswegen, he is making the move on Craig Hunter on this back straight. Need to keep a very, very tight line. Slight touching there, but not too much. It's going to allow, who's that? Pieter van Rensburg to also contest position there with Craig Hunter. Craig running slightly wide. Ooh, that's going to cost him. He's going to have to back out of this corner and find a way to exit. It's compromising his exit though, I'm presume, but I do think Pieter van Rensburg will be able to contest going into this next corner. If he can just keep his head, keep his nose right behind him, he should be fine. Has a bit of a lockup, but he gets going. I think he is within the magic window there. As Stanley mentioned, the slipstream being effective here around half a second, so if he can get close enough, it might pull him. Not quite. It's looking like Craig is riding a rocket ship there, pulling away from him on this main straight. Okay, so they're going to be breathing a bit. I must say it's a different experience commentating by myself. I get excited and then I have to remember to move the camera myself as well, so I might miss some action here and there, but I hope that I can bring some entertainment for everybody tonight. Ooh, lock up there from Van Rensburg, but he just catches it, doesn't slide out too much. It is going to cost him though. He is on one of the drivers on medium tires that is going to be difficult to manage. Up ahead I do see Jotan van Aswegen has already pulled the gap in front of Craig Hunter by a second, and down below Matthew, I'm going to continue with this, it seems. Martin Mol has made his way into 20th position, so he's climbed back a few 2 positions already. Gonna be keen to see what he can bring tonight. He is the driver to watch on what I'm hoping will be an amazing drive back up the field. Okay, I'm hopping over to Stephen Kenny and Aiden Skuman right now. Aiden's sitting almost in the toe there. Not 100% sure if he'll be able to get the overtake. Stephen does look like he's going to run defensively into turn 1. Just play it careful. Slows down nicely. Bit of a lockup. Hits the apex. Gets going again. And I think he'll be able to stay in front of Skuman for the time being. Cornet, I'm not sure if you're saying no or imitating the sound of the cars going by. Ooh, Aiden sliding things a bit there. I'm gonna go on board with him as he's following Steven. Steven having a bit of a lockup. Aiden just turning in slightly early, and that's opening. That's allowing Steven to get a good exit or a better exit and pull the gap slightly. It's really, really difficult when you get back on the hammer there. These cars are, while they're not F1 cars, they have a lot of torque on them and they can still spin up the wheels quite quickly if you're not careful. Especially when you're downshifting so low. Downshifting all the way to first, you have to be very, very careful with throttle application. Okay, down below, seeing Ryan de Azevedo and Peter Wenzel swapping positions. Not 100% sure what's happening there, and I do see Martin Mol has closed the gap on Tarika there. So, ooh, he sends it up on the inside there in that second last corner. Well done. So, Martin slowly but surely making his way up. We have 35 minutes left on the clock, so not quite halfway yet. Still a lot that can happen in this race. So Ryan van Wyk, he was on the back of Ryan Hill there, but he had a slight lockup into turn 1, lost him quite a bit of time. Field is quite relaxed, although I'm going back to Martin Mol now. He's all right on the back of Sean Viveje. He's sticking his nose out, saying, "I'm sending it tonight." Very, very comfortable with what his car can do. He's hitting those apexes, maybe taking what would seem like a bit of a dangerous dive, but luckily I think Sean Viveje spotted him in time and he managed to get a clean overtake going. It's always difficult as a very fast driver. Well, I'm saying always difficult. I can only speak from the slow driver's perspective. It's a bit difficult to judge if a faster driver knows where your braking zones are, knows how you're going to be turning in and handling it. So that's why I'm saying it's a bit brave of Martin throwing it up on the inside of Sean there. I'm jumping ahead, so I'm gonna hop onto his, not his cockpit cam, onto his car camera. He is one of our independent drivers. Although I'm worried I might have messed up one of the liveries. Hopefully that's not the case. Very, very aggressively eating the curbs there. So he does a 1:48.1. I'll be keeping an eye on the times that Jovan is doing. He's built up a very respectable gap up at the front there. A 6-second gap. He can now just go into maintenance mode, focus on maintaining that gap. He doesn't have to push the car too hard. Okay, I'm hopping forward to Johan Carines right now. He was, well, it looked like he was closing the gap on Ryan van Wyk. He might still be. Yeah, I think that gap is going to come down slowly. He's inching away at it. Very, very good, clean turn 10 there, and he's right on the back of Ryan. He had a much better exit. Sit there. DRS in the slipstream. I don't think it's going to be quite close enough. He's rather taking the choice of riding a slightly different line, and it might give him the opportunity for an overtake into the second last corner. Ooh, dips a wheel onto the curbs. Maybe it's unsettled the car. Maybe Ryan unsighted him a bit, but he is still in the tow there. Might even be thinking what the strategic game here might be. I remember with think it was Lawrence Stern on my back. I knew he was faster than me, and I knew that he was going to overtake me into that last corner. So I chose to not defend it and rather focus on getting a good exit. And this is what I was saying, what I was contemplating. If Ryan got a good exit, he can come and sit on the inside and send it. That was what I had in mind on Monday. Although mine was a bit scarier because I had to make a bit of a bigger lunge than I anticipated. So well done on Ryan for getting that position back. Johan Carines will definitely be fighting to try and take that back. And behind them, I see Martin Mol making his way past John Stewart as well. Hopping forwards to Pieter van Rensburg, he is running very closely to Craig Hunter. And I believe this does deserve a nice follow cam. Closing that gap. He might be able to, if he doesn't get unsighted on this last corner and just focus on getting the good exit. Ooh, Craig locks up very badly, and that has allowed Van Rensburg to sit right on his tail. These flying gypsy cars have looked very, very quick in a straight line, though. Ooh, oh, it's almost crazy to see how how Craig's car just stays ahead. Must be running very, very low downforce, although he does go very deep, and it might create the opportunity. Oh no, Van Rensburg just suffering from a bit of understeer there, not quite getting through the turn as much as he had hoped. I see Johan Carines is in the pits, so maybe taking an early pit, might be thinking of going on hards, maybe mediums. I'm not sure. I'll be keeping my eyes peeled to see what tires he's coming out on. Right, Ryan Hill, Aiden Skuman. Ooh, Ryan sends it into the S's there. Not quite sure what happened with Aiden. Maybe had a bit of a moment and it allowed Ryan to catch up. So Ryan de Azevedo also going into pits, and I'm looking at Johan Carines. He's come out on medium tires, so thinking of doing a longer stint on this last set of tires. It's just under 30 minutes left still. And Martin Mol also still gaining ground. He's worked his way up into 15th now, and he'll be looking at catching up to Aiden Skuman very, very soon. Slight lock up by Aiden, and he dives into the pits. Maybe feeling like the undercut will be helpful in trying to overtake Ryan there. Up in front, not sure what happened to Craig Hunter. He had a bit of a moment. So, Stanley Fenter, I think I maybe had a mislick. Well, anyway, so Craig is being caught. Stanley Fenter has caught up right to the back of Craig Hunter there. Ooh, in the background, Aiden Skuman still losing some positions. I think that must be as he's coming out of the pits that Tarika passed him. Ooh, lock up there by Stanley. Craig takes note and does manage to avoid him. That could have been a bit of a bad moment, but the two teammates making sure to stay out of one another's way. Curious there, Cornet, are there any team orders tonight, or is it just give it all you got? Okay, Matthew Moore has caught up to Ryan Hill now. I believe he'll be able to make this overtake stick on the main straight. Martin has shown a lot of pace tonight. Ryan not getting the best of exits there. Martin just sending it up on the inside there. Ooh, he gives nice space there to Ryan. Ooh, he has to slightly back out of it. And I'll switch back to the TV cameras. Ryan doing well to defend his position there, going out wide, forcing Martin to just hesitate slightly before he can get back on the power. So we are also hitting around the 25-minute mark. This is usually when I'd start expecting to see pits, so we've already seen a few pit stops being done. Martin is going to be relentless with this battle. I think Ryan is going to have his hands full if he hopes to hold on to this position for too long. Oh, Martin he's tucking up underneath Ryan's wing there. This is the moment where you have to really focus on not getting too caught up with the car in your mirrors and just focus on driving ahead. Ryan taking a slightly wider line there. And he runs wide. That's not going to help him on the exit of this corner. So Martin doing very, very well to keep it clean, keep out of one another's way. Eats those inside curbs and just gets back on the throttle to pin it. Up in front, Jotan van Aswegen having a bit of a swap around with Brendan Veed. Quickly hopping over there. They are battling side by side into 10-3 or 4, 10-4. And that is Pieter van Rensburg on the tail of Jotan van Aswegen as well. He's also looking to get some action here. Jotan running slightly wide. He had a compromised entry there trying to defend. He still has the inside line coming into turn 9, turn 10 as he lock up slightly. Gets back on the throttle, and he does well to keep it clean there. Both live to fight another day. Pieter van Rensburg doing very, very well there to contest the position, but just in the end it's not quite enough. I see Matthew Mole making his way. Martin Mole. I'm going to make that mistake all night because the English mind is not with me tonight. It's letting me down. Although they're swapping positions, I have to come and see what's happening here. It's on the back straight, so I'm assuming that was in the hairpin, both not quite getting the same exits, and it's allowed Stephen Kenny to really contest that position. But in the end, I think Martin is going to make it stick, and he's going to try, start driving away, trying to catch up to Stanley Venter in front. Ronald Childs going into pit. He was running in second, so I think he might come out around 8th or 9th. Yes, Henrik Hansen also diving into the pits now. Ronald Childs seems to have gotten going. Yes, he's now in 7th position, so he's had a relatively good pit stop there. Back with Pieter van Rensburg. On the back of Ronald Childs now. So Ronald now with new tires, quickly checking. He's out on mediums again. Tires should be nice and warm with the tire blankets that they use to toast them up nicely. But Ronald will be running a higher fuel load, and I think he's already showing that he's driving away from Van Rensburg here. Lots of movement up and down with people pitting. Losing track of all the battles right now. So just in front of Ronald Childs, that's Jotan van Aswegen, trying to hang on to the back of, who's that, Brendan Veet. Ooh, Stephen Kenny running side by side with Henrik Hansen into the S's. Not quite the line you'd want there. He holds onto it nicely. And he can get back going. So Stephen, having already taken his pit, he's hoping to come out in front of Ryan Hill, who I think is, I believe he is still yet to pit. Okay, Jotan van Aswegen diving into the pits. Just gonna try and find more battles. So Ryan Hill having a bit of a lock-up. I think he might have had a bit of a moment, which cost him a position. Our current leader, Bradley Taylor, I don't remember seeing him but yet, so he's looking to capitalize on being out in front, but I don't think he'll be able to build a gap that will ensure that he can stay here. But knowing that the consistency can bring you there, anything can still happen. I am just quickly looking. So Jovan Oosthuizen currently running in 3rd position, with Martin Mol running in 9th, and I do believe Martin still has to pit, so he might be running an extended stint and doing a quick splash and dash in the end to try and capitalize on the night. Had a bit of a rough one, but I think Dirk's prediction of him doing very well, maybe getting a sixth position finish, isn't too far out there. Okay, Aiden Skuman on Ryan van Wyk. Ryan locking up and running deep. Aiden will be able to pull in, okay, just behind him. Up in front, Ronald Childs and Brendan V swapping places. A lot of unexpected action happening. I'm going to switch to Martin Mol for the time being. He is right on the back of Stanley Venter there, into the back straight, looking, showing his nose, but not quite. He'll know that this main straight is where he can hopefully capitalize on a move. Although that said, we did see that the Flying Gypsy's car is relatively quick in a straight line. This is not the case. It's not the case this time. Martin managing to sit under that wing. He'll be able to get by, well, next to Stanley into turn 1, and does so with a very, very good overtake. Okay, Brendan Bede must have had a bit of a moment. I saw him being overtaken. No, I think he was still coming out of pit. So he's fallen back to 10th position now. Still 18 minutes left in this race. So just quickly mentioning, if you want in on the action, you can head on over to simracesa.co.za. I've got the website up on the screen right now. Find the sign up form there, submit it, send it in. One of our admins will get back to you with details. We ask for a minimum donation of 150 Rand. Our charity of choice is Abba Adoption Specialists. They've been doing a great job with their efforts. And thus far, I'll just double check the numbers that I shared in the description. Yes, thus far we've raised a nice 29,883 Rand and 88 cents. So this isn't anything specific that comes through. There isn't a middleman cutting off a slice. This is money going directly to our charity. You make a direct donation there and send us proof of payment. And then you can also come and race with us. So this is the SimGP Championship. We run 4 different types of championships. The next one happening next week is the SimGT Championship, where we drive GT3 cars in a Assetto Corsa Competizione. That will be followed by the Sim Legends series, where we're having some fun with the nice minis on some classic tracks. And the last series is the Sim TC series, where we're driving 90s BTCC cars. Lots of fun, very close rubbing is racing type of action. There is racing for anybody looking to race. You don't have to have you don't have to come and drive in every single championship, but you can just come and have fun with it. All right. Quickly gonna hop to Matthew. He is 3 seconds off of the back of Rob van der Heever. And we have 15 minutes left. Daniel Haynes, yes, I've never been in a mini myself. But I can believe that you won't fit. Basically an ogre you. Okay, so Matthew dives into the pits, and it's going to be all about where he exits right now. Jotan van Aswegen is a good deal behind him. Just gonna switch to the helicopter camera for a moment. He goes stationary. I think Jotan might be able to catch up. Yes, he is going to close that gap. But if... Okay, Matthew exits the pits, and he is currently... gets overtaken by Van Rensburg as well. So Matthew Martin is currently in 8th position. Well done to him. A lot that he can do still with 14 minutes left on the clock. Just hopping back to Ryan Hill, he is looking like he's going to be having a scrap with Stephen Kenny. Stephen running very, very defensively there. Not trying to give him even an inch. Yes, Joel, I'm going to be crucified for this. It's the alliteration. I don't know, my mind just jumps to whatever word or name seems to be the easiest to pronounce together with Mol. Ooh. Martin getting very, very racy there with Van Rensburg. Pulls alongside him, going into this turn 11. Just not quite able to pull it together there. Apologies, switched away too quickly. Got a bit excited. Martin is going to be sitting in the slipstream of Van Rensburg right now. And he does manage to pull up alongside coming into this last turn. Knowing Martin has done really, really well tonight with this drive back. He's worked hard at it, although I do think Van Rensburg sitting in the toe is going to make his life difficult going into turn 1. Martin running very defensively. Van Rensburg wanting to take that inside line, but thinking better of it. Slight lockup from Van Rensburg, and he ends up having to fall back in line. So Martin managing to outbreak him into turn 1 there. Next, I'm sure next on his hit list is going to be Jotan van Aswegen to try and clinch that 6th position that Dirk had so righteously predicted. Ryan Hill still on the back of Steven. Ooh, brakes very, very deep. Still alongside. Oh, but he's got a bit of a compromised line, and he had to do a lift there to ensure that Steven doesn't run, well, that he doesn't run into Steven coming up on his right-hand side. And it's also now going to allow Johan Carines to say, I want part of this action. slight lock-up there from Kenny up in front. Not quite enough for Ryan to close the gap and get the overtake done. Ooh, Ryan running very, very wide, almost touching there as well. Just touching the curbs. Feeling like that might be a bit of a brave move on this track. Ryan with a slight lift. Going to be focusing on getting a clean exit. Steven seems to have run very wide. Just got on the throttle a bit too much and it stepped out the rear. And Ryan is alongside. He has to be careful now. Ooh, okay. And that has now allowed Johan Carines to catch up. Johan not quite sitting in the toe. Ryan being able to sit in the toe of Steven. Ooh, Johan having a bit of a moment there. That is unfortunate. Under DRS, you don't have the grip to do sudden steering movements. Not sure if Ryan maybe unsettled him. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Jumping back to Ryan on the back of Steven there. I'm keeping an eye out for Martin. 12 seconds is a rather large gap to close up, but if he does so, I will be there to see if he can clinch a 5th position for this race. He's had a spectacular drive from the back of the field, and I'd go as far as saying I think he is my driver of the day tonight. Sorry, Donnie, I completely forgot that I can replay, and I didn't press my save button early enough. Ooh, Stanley Fenter having a bit of a moment. Yeah, he's fallen back quite a bit, so he must have run wide on turn 12, 13, I think. Still keeping an eye on this battle with Ryan and Steven. Ryan is now in the slipstream. It's going to be about ensuring that you can capitalize on it. Steven running very defensively. Didn't look like he opened up his DRS in time, so he's going to lose a bunch of speed. Going for the outbraking maneuver there. Ooh, Ryan has to just take evading action, but Ryan comes out ahead. Steven is still in the slipstream though. Ryan running the defensive line right now. Ooh, slight lockup by Ryan there. Just parking it on the apex. Steven can't quite get going, and Ryan is in the lead for now. Now it's all about keeping your head down and focusing. Rob Walker, the top speed on these straights, I think, if I remember correctly, without a tow, you can clock a top speed of around 280 kilometers an hour. With a tow, you can add about 5 kilometers an hour, maybe a bit more. Okay, just jumping up ahead to Dominique and Bradley Taylor there. Dominique starting to show signs of trying to make a move. I do see behind Martin Mol has closed down that 12-second gap to 8 seconds, so he is taking chunks of time out of Rob van der Jeffer's laps there, so he might even be able to contest something close to the end of this race. Dirk, I'm going to be honest, I only know because I had a telemetry app open and I was comparing who other people's top speed to see if my setup was maybe compromising a bit too much on something. whether it was downforce or whatever. I'm not going to elaborate too much. I did find it helpful just getting a feel for what you can do. So Dominique still slowly but surely closing up this gap. If he can ensure a very clean exit here, and although I'm saying that, Bradley Taylor does have a very, very good one there. Oh, Dominique just stepping on the throttle a bit too quickly there, I think. Jumping back to Brendan Veed, I will hop back to Dominique if there's more developments. Brendan is close, but I don't think quite close enough to get into the toe there. Both of them very, very nice and clean turn one there from the looks of it. Dan, I'm going to be honest. I've spoken to Philip, and I might have run an even more open office blind for rear wing there. Ooh, Jotan running wide. Still has the inside line into the hairpin there, but he does not have the speed to stay side by side with Brendan Veed. So Brendan going up one position takes moves up into 8th. Although I'm not going to discount Jotan just yet. But as that is happening, in 17th, Sean Viveje is all over the back of Stephen Kenny there. He's maybe running slightly less downforce through the S's there as the gap opens up. All right, back up in front, Dominique right behind Bradley Taylor there. And who is that up ahead? That must be some lap traffic. I'm not sure who that is. Rob, I'm not going to take credit for the setting. That was, I think, Ryan that picked the track. I just did my best to try and make it look pretty on my computer, and I still had to compromise because this was a bit of a demanding track to race on. So, battle between Sean Viveje and Stephen Kenny still alive. Sean hanging onto the back of Stephen there. Stephen taking a very defensive line, although I don't think Sean is quite in the slipstream to be able to capitalize on it. Both of them locking up, almost Sean running, almost running into the back of Stephen there, but they both keep it going nicely. That was a bit of a heart stopper moment. And back up in front, Dominique, he will maybe be able to get past Bradley Taylor here, although Bradley is holding on to this nicely. Dominique does have the inside line though, so it might put him in an advantageous position in the braking zone. Brakes slightly earlier, but takes the apex nicely. Bradley trying to go for the cutback, but it's just not quite working as he expected. So in the dying moments almost of this race, Dominique making a very, very important move here, because the top 3 of tonight's race will be promoted to Division 1. So I'm not discounting Bradley Taylor just yet. He's going to be focusing hard on this battle. Just jumping back to Jotan van Asweg and also trying to make a move still on Brendan Veed, but not quite able to make it stick yet. I'm going to head back in front. I'm thinking Bradley Taylor is going to be giving it his all. I am looking at the gap from Rob van der Heever to Martin Mol, and it's down to 5.2 seconds, so not quite able to get there. But overall, I think Martin has had an excellent drive back up the field tonight, and he's done very, very well for himself. Oh, in the back there, I see Peter Wenzel having a moment, dropping 2 positions, so that bumps Ryan de Azevedo out of the relegation zone. But it's not over till the fat lady sings, as they say. There is still 1 minute and 15 seconds left in this race. I think Jovan Oosthuizen has already crossed the line, so this will be his last lap. All of the action happening while I'm taking my sip of water. Bradley almost getting close enough, but just not quite. This is going to be his last lap that he has to try and use. He might not have the advantage of the main straight for an overtake, so he's going to have to work hard at seeing what he can do right now. Just gonna jump forwards. Jovan Oosthuizen coming up turn 12, turn 13. He's had a very, very good drive. Basically took it from flag to flag. Not 100%. There was another leader, but he's done very well in tonight's race, leading by about 20 seconds it seems. And he crosses the finish line. Just gonna hop back to Ronald Childs as well. 20 seconds behind, so that is almost halfway down that last straight. That's quite the distance to be following. But it gives an indication of how fast this track can be. So Ronald Childs, well-deserved second position there for him. Dominique pulled a slight gap on Bradley Taylor, and they crossed the line for third and fourth. Rob van der Heever is coming up next. He's also had a pretty quiet race, I think. He had a battle here and there, but overall I think he must have had... he'll be very happy with his results. And lastly, well, not lastly, Martin Mol coming home for sixth. Dirk, I think you can become a betting man now. He's taken that sixth position, followed by Pieter van Rensburg. Jotan van Asweg and Craig Hunter bringing it home for 9th and 10th, and I skipped Brendan Veed, who took home 8th position finish there. So that rounds out the top 10. I'm sure the last few drivers will still be coming to cross the line in just a moment. Ryan van Wyk coming home for 11th position. Really looking forward to the next races. This has been an absolute smasher, I think. Ryan Hill coming home for 15th, 14th, followed by Stephen Kenny and Sean Vaveje, and lastly Stanley Venter. He had a bit of a tumultuous race tonight, but I think he's still shaking off some of the rust from not having raced a lot in recent times. Okay. So, while that is happening, I'm just going to switch back here and see if I can find someone for a quick interview. Hello, Jovan Oosthuizen. How are you, my man? I'm doing fine, thanks. I kind of missed the start there. You somehow managed to send it up on the inside there. and then take it from there to right up to the end. How was tonight's drive? Oh, sorry, apologies. I just realized I had Discord muted. I'm just going to repeat that. Sorry. Okay, can you just repeat that, Jovan?
No, I had an amazing start. Got the perfect launch. Was on the inside of Martin there and had him from there on.
Okay, no, I'm. You managed to pull a tremendous gap there. 20 seconds. Are you looking forward to the next Div1 race?
Yes, I can't wait to beat Marius.
Overall, any troubles with the car? Any like? I didn't catch a lot of your racing tonight. You were running up in front. Not a lot of contesting. But I, from what I could see, you had a nice and solid drive, and I think a decent finish there.
Thank you.
Looking forward to the next races.
Thank you.
Cool.
Yes, that's
Cool. Cheers. All right. That is it then. So that concludes round 2 of the 2021.2 SimGT Champion GP series. Really looking forward to the next race. So next week we are running the GT Championship, and that is going to be on Zandvoort. Light sprinkling of rain is a possibility. It's going to be interesting to see what the weather brings. But I'm quickly going to look at the calendar for the next one. So our next race is going to be Ottawa. Haven't been on that circuit myself for GP, but looking forward to giving it a bash, seeing what we can do. And then, as always, remember there's also the other series. I'm sure we're all looking forward to having Dan and Nick back in the booth on Monday for the GT series, and then Alan and I will be back for some Legends as well. So hopefully it's going to be a good bit of racing in the next few weeks as well. And then lastly, gonna just punt Sim Race South Africa again. If you're keen on joining, please head on over to simracesa.co.za. You can find a sign up form there. Join us. It's great fun racing, lovely welcoming community that is always keen to try and help people out. And I think that is that. So that concludes tonight's race. I had a lot of fun. It's a bit trickier when you're alone and you have to focus on everything at once, but I think overall it went good, and thanks everybody for joining tonight. Looking forward to the next races.